so freaking bad. Wrestle me.
Welcome, everybody, to Choose Pro Wrestling, episode 215, Members of Blood. That's right, we have a very fucking special guest with us this week from the land of XPW. She's a Hall of Fame adult entertainer. You may know her from that. You may know her from the OG EC dub and the OG XP dub, but now she's back in XPW with the Mega Maga, and she's back with her own killer podcast, the Krazy Train, with Jasmin St. Ladies and motherfucking gentlemen, the one, the only, the vivacious, the undeniable Jasmin St.
Oh my
Jasmin, how are you?
Oh my God, that is the most vivacious intro I've gotten. I mean, this is really good. You should be a ring announcer or something.
I keep hearing that, but Rob's not giving me the call, so somebody's gonna fucking Cat. I don't know if she told him or not. So he's not. Maybe he's just like, fuck that kid.
Who, Cat?
Yeah, Cat liked it too. I told her, I was like, hey, she's like, you need to be my ring announcer. I was like, tell the hubby, I'm down.
Yeah. You never know.
What the fuck is going on? We're fresh off the heels of the Merry Christmas pay-per-view, which everybody can go back and watch.
Good shit.
On fight.tv. Fucking awesome. Successful fucking battle. The Mega Butcher destroyed fucking Hardbody.
Annihilation.
Yeah.
Well, might add, what is your opinion of one Hardbody?
Where do you want me to start? What is confusion with pronouns, or he's confused and he doesn't know which pronoun to use? I just whatever. He shouldn't have done that. He just shouldn't have stepped in the ring with us. And he should bring his emotional support animal the next time. Maybe I'll dog nap it or something. But now they did a really good match, and he for Hardbody, he really puts himself through a lot. Like the match before that with Drake Wirtz, when he had that skewer in his mouth, he's all in. I have a lot of respect for him in that matter, but maybe we'll end up catfighting one day. And that shit he pulled was like really screwed up. Like he didn't have to do that. Like I get you're never going to be straight, or maybe I turned him straight when you saw the Trump 2024 bikini top. Maybe that turned him. It's called transition therapy, and we're trying, but yeah, maybe it worked a little bit, and maybe you won't be so confused about his pronouns.
Well, he's definitely going to be confused after that fucking power bomb on the fucking gate.
Jesus.
But about what? The world may never know. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Jasmin, like I said, when I introduced you, you're old school XPW and old school ECW, and I want to get to that in a second. But when did you first hear about the rebirth of the brand XPW, and how did that come about? How'd you get involved?
Like I reconnected with Rob after all these years through Tom Byron, because I was always friends with Tommy, and Tommy moved there. And I'm like, oh, that looks like a really cool burger joint. I totally want to go. That looks like fun. And I said, is Rob still cool with me? Like, are we okay? Because I know we ended on bad terms. And something like it's with Rob, you're always on the island of misfit toys, no matter what. Even if you're like the wayward butchered up, like cut up wrestler, you always come back. And he's like, call him. So I called him. I talked to him. Then we were texting, and he's like, I have a lot of big things in store. I said, okay. Then Dark Side of the Ring people called me, and I didn't want to go on the show because I don't think I gave them the narrative that they wanted. So they put me on Dark Side of the 90s. And
which episode? I haven't watched many of those. I think I've only seen like
episode 1, the beginning.
Okay.
It's great. It was great. I didn't know they were putting me on that. So then I found out about the rebirth, and Rob reached out to me the second I saw that. I'm like, hey, he's like, you're just reading my mind. Can you make it? I said, yeah. Then I went and I saw what it was, and I knew that he was building something, and he needed us, and a lot of us need him because it's fun. But like when you get back into the ring, like I've never been one to mess with drugs or anything like that. it's sort of it's like my drug, I guess. You know, I like motorcycles. I ride motorcycles, and you do this type of stuff. It's a different kind of rush. And I'll be quite frank with you, the way the locker room is now there, it reminds me very much of an old school ECW locker room. It really does. And it's really lovely. We had a cake the other day at the December show for the 1-year anniversary of XPW. When they came out to California, I wasn't sure what to expect. I don't think the fans were sure, but now that we have things like storylines and stuff going, I think it's awesome. I'm really excited. And Rob is he's putting in 100%, and the wrestlers are putting in 100%. And those who showed up for him and keep showing up are the ones, who are there for it in the long haul. And I'm so grateful we have Schlack as well, because he's brought in some really great talent, like Big Joe from England. And I'm happy to work with Necro Butcher, because he's like a Maga Butcher, because he's a legend, and I actually gave him a pair of My Pillow slippers as a Christmas gift because they never had his size.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Necro is a total legend, and he's a dude who's overcame so much, with like the cancer and all that shit. And it was because I remember not even within the past couple of years that he had that. And I was like, he's a dude I watched, growing up early 2000s and late 90s and shit on the when tape trading was still kind of around and shit, and YouTube was in its adolescent stage. It was weird to see him, that like the illness kind of take a good chunk of him, and to see how he's just built back up, and he's like healthy looking and out there doing it again. Like that's fucking motivating for anybody, in my opinion, that's going through that shit,
Yeah, it's like you get so many people that the second they hear the C word, they've got cancer. Because I have a friend that has it, and he's like all dramatic and stuff. Oh, I need people. I'm dying. I said, you're going to probably lose some weight from the chemo, but you're not dying. And I know people that have had way worse that are still alive. I have a friend that has one cane while he has one leg, and he rides a motorcycle cross country. So don't tell me this shit. Like Necro surviving cancer and overcoming all of that. And I really feel as though it's something he's into now, this whole, Mega Maga thing, and working with Rob, and just, everyone's great there, and everyone understands what the boundaries are as far as things are concerned. And the girls are amazing. I'm so glad that Kat Martini is there, and Ludark, who's great. Yes. All the girls are wonderful.
Congrats. New champ. New women's champ. I know.
I'm so happy. That's big. She got the championship from Taya in a way. It went down the line, then Kat had it, and then she's like, I'll just give it to someone. So I'm so glad, because that girl has paid her dues. She's another one. I respect all of them, but another one of my favorites is Mickey Knuckles. She's like our Abby the Butcher.
Yeah, for sure. And
she's wild.
She's a legend too. Like,
is she? Yeah.
She's been fucking, like kicking doors open for like female deathmatch wrestlers for fucking ever. I remember watching her way back in the day. I even see her on Springer back in the day.
Wait, what?
Yeah, go check it. Just Google it sometime, or go on YouTube. She was on fucking Jerry Springer back in the day.
Oh, I'm gonna have to ask her about it, because she texted me this morning because she just switched handsets. But I remember the first time I saw her, there's some guy standing by the ring, like, who had a drink. She just took it from him, drank it, like gave it back to him. Then he's asking her out on a date. I don't think she went with him. But when she was on my podcast, she met me 20 or 18 years ago with Drake. The two of them worked for Ian Rotten, and I was at an IWA Mid-South show, and they both met me at the same time. It was cute.
Hell yeah. Hey, you were talking about, so you like to ride. Do you do any cross-country riding?
I've done a lot of stuff before, like long distance, like Arizona. I've been up north to Death Valley, California. I haven't been to Florida or anything like that. One of these days, but I've ridden in other, other states.
Catch Riki Rachtman on the road? Remember him?
Actually, he's a friend of mine. Actually, when I first moved back to this country, we used to go riding. We would go from Topanga Canyon in the valley to the other side, and it's this one part of like the hill or the mountain, and it's like 80 degrees that way and like 55 degrees that way, and you got to put your gloves on. You have to have like just something like a warmer jacket. But yeah, we met up. He used to go out with a friend of mine years ago, and we met up, and we went for breakfast somewhere. Then we went riding down to PCH and back up.
And speaking of him, his name brings back so many fucking memories of, like the late 80s and early 90s and shit, not just in wrestling, but like the music side. Because me and Bodie, we're musicians. We do the underground death metal grindcore gig. But Riki reminds me of like, what the Viper Room back in the day. Did you ever have a chance to go there and check that out?
Not in that era. I was still living in Europe at that time, or New York City. I didn't get to LA until 96. And I was back and forth in like the early 2000s. But I've been there. I was there. I was at the Rainbow Bar and Grill quite a bit, the Whiskey, House of Blues, Key Club, when we had a lot of really good shows. Now it's some big like hotel that's going where the House of Blues was, and they had amazing food and the shows were good. Now that Key Club, it's transformed into some hip hop crap. That was another good venue for smaller shows, like when Soilwork came or Dark Tranquility came through. Then Rainbow Bar and Grill just isn't the same. It's some hipster that took it over. And it's like anytime you go in there, like if my bartender is not working there, I won't even go in.
That sucks. I've always wanted to go out to I've never been out to California myself. We had a tour date back in the day and dude canceled it. So that was my opportunity right there. But I've had a lot of friends go out there, and I just watched I don't know if you've had a chance to check out the Ronnie James Dio documentary that just came out. Yeah. And they're talking about like, well, this is his wife's like, this is where it happened. This is where we were sitting in here one night and Ronnie met Tony Iommi. And then next thing you know, Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell. And I'm like, fuck yeah.
Ronnie's something else. I met him years ago. And,
shit.
Yeah, I've met a lot of them. Because I was interviewing bands for quite some time, but it was also backstage because I just had friends that were playing. When they played Norway, I met him. But let's see, he's really nice. I was there when they had the Walk of Fame, the Rock Walk of Fame, and he had his star, which is really a nice thing. It's really cool to have something like that at Guitar Center.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So getting into we're going to go back into the wrestling shit, but I want to go into the music stuff because I was doing a little bit of research. I didn't really have to do too much. Like I said, I've been a fan for a long fucking time. It surprised me. I saw this picture, you wearing a fucking Carcass shirt. I'm like, God damn, this girl's into the heavy metal underground. She fucking knows. What bands in that genre specifically are you really into, and who have you had the chance to interact with?
Probably 90% of them. Suffocation, Badass. Carcass, Cannibal Corpse, Nuclear Assault, Overkill, Municipal Waste. It's really sad what happened to Pat O'Brien, by the way. I hope he gets back in the band. That really was very heartbreaking.
Yeah, for sure.
Napalm Death.
Yeah.
I mean, like all of them. I've had all of them on my shows, but I've always kept friendships with them too. Mm-hmm. So if there's a show, like I know there's a Carcass show next weekend, I might be at a signing. I don't know yet because now they're trying to get the logistics of picking me up from one area to go to another. I'm just like, figure it out, guys, because if not, I'm going to Carcass. I have my priorities set straight. It's Merciful Fate, King Diamond, and it really. I was
just at the show in Gary. They played.
Yeah, it's so great. I love going to those. It's theatrical. Dimo Borgir, and it's like Arch Enemy. What's really annoying is that you get these people, these like stupid kids that weren't even like a sperm in their dad's ball sack, wearing the shirts because they think it's cool. Mm-hmm. So I went up to this guy in the street. He had a Carcass shirt on. He looked like a nerd. And I said, name one song or just name one album, please. Just do that for me. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. But, you met me before, Jasmine. I used to work at the Key Club. I'm like, no, I said, no, just name one song. And he's like, yeah, the Heartwork album. I'm like, okay, well, how do you know me? He's like, I had long hair. Now I have a computer job. It's like, okay, never mind.
Fuck that guy.
I know. It's like, that's why I can't send Coachella, because Coachella is for posers. You get people, what band am I supposed to be at? Like where? What band am I supposed to like? What time are they in the main stage? And that's what we're dealing with now. It's like it's crappy music out there. Yeah. So I have no problem seeing Carcass or Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, any of those. Yeah. I love Halford. Halford's amazing.
Halford's the man.
Yeah. I'm pissed. Like I said, you brought Merciful Fate, and like this past year, I really I've always known of them and King Diamond and shit, but I never kind of got into them. And then then I just did, and it hit me hard. And I'm like, fuck, man, I got to see these guys. And of course, some drunk asshole talking shit, and I had to do what I had to do. And fucking, I miss them. I got to see Midnight, but you know.
Why? What happened? Whoa. Backtrack. Like, you got into a fight at a show. What happened? Please tell me.
At
a Merciful Fate show. Are you serious?
Yeah. Well, I was there with my band, and there a friend of the band who's also another band that like sometimes he'll book us on gigs that he puts together or whatever. He showed up before we even got there, and he'd been drinking all day. So, and I've hung out with this guy plenty of times, but not enough to like ever see him act like this. And he was just wasted. So he was annoying, like right out the gate. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, and I'm kind of like stressed out in life as of late. I just don't want to hear no fucking drunk asshole, you know, like I can drink till the sun comes up. I'm not going to be a fucking idiot though. Like handle your booze. So we're at the fucking place, and he whips out his dumb little phone. And I just made a joke about, what is that, an iPhone 7? And he got like really upset about it. And he just started calling me fucking, saying I was ignorant and all this shit and insinuating I was stupid. And I was like, I looked at him. I checked him 3 fucking times. You know, I was like, you're for real right now? You working me? Like, is this for real? And then he just kept calling me an idiot. And I just fucking picked him up and choke slammed his ass to the ground. He tried to get back up, and I fucking pie faced him back down. I was like, don't fucking, nobody saw it coming. I didn't see it coming. But, you know, it's one of those things like wrong place, wrong time, as Dying Fetus would say, wrong one to fuck with, you know?
Yeah, I wish the motherfucker would.
Yeah, dude. And that's how it was. And then that was it. And I went up to security, and I was cool with them. I was like, hey, man, I know what I just did, but I know the guy, like, whatever. You got to do what you got to do. I'll leave. I didn't put up a fight or anything like that. I had a few to drink, but I wasn't drunk. Maintain my composure. My guitar player fucking got me an Uber back to his crib where my car was at. And I went home, you know, pissed. I mean, I'm responsible for my own actions, but do you really want some drunk asshole in your face, like saying you're fucking ignorant and insulting your intelligence when he's the obvious fucking moron? Hell no.
Well, I mean, I get that. Like, I've never really seen terrible fights at a show. So even Sepultura, that's another one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Which is, I've never seen. Well, you know,
Morbid Visions. Yeah.
Well, I lived in Europe for a while, so I was always at In Flames shows, Enslaved.
Nice.
What else? Then I went to a lot of also see Morbid Angel.
Yeah.
Behemoth I like, and then of course Uncle Abba. How could you not like them? All those little memes of them.
That's
Mayhem. Like, I've seen so many Mayhem shows, it's crazy. Children of Bodom. But yeah, I think I've seen the best of best with music shows. I've been like, if I never go to another show, I'm fine. Like, I'll still go see my friends. Mm-hmm. Like, anytime Suffocation comes to town, I'll always go by and say hi to them, because I've known Terrence forever.
Yeah, Terrence is good people. I've played with him.
I know.
Yeah,
isn't he
awesome
great
dudes to play with?
Grades? Huh?
They're awesome dudes to play with. We've played a couple of shows with them, and they're just awesome guys to be around.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that they give younger bands a chance as well to go out and tour with them and do things. And that's really sweet. It's not, it's about a buy-on sometimes, but I've seen them like let other bands stay in the bus. I was once kidnapped by, who was it? By which band was it? They didn't really kidnap me, but I just went from one. It was a Monomarath, and then I was kidnapped from the WeHo bus. I was all the way in San Diego. Oh my God, what a shit show. But then I got back like 2 days later because they were back up there doing whatever they were doing.
Hey, bro, don't say anything. But I got Jasmin Sinclair bound and gagged in the back. It's cool, though, right? You know, it's cool.
I wasn't literally. I was just having fun at the shows and stuff. Plus, I'm friends with the guys. Like, that's the thing. I'm probably one of the only women, probably one in a handful that was doing that and doing all the interviews with the band, not to look cool and not to like hook up with anyone. It's just, you get so many of those girls. Yeah, they're like glorified groupies, and that's what I call them. Yeah, yeah,
oh yeah, they're around, but it's the total difference. And again, just from hearing you talk, and I know we don't know you, but like, you're passionate about these bands. You just the shit you've said and the bands you've listed off. I mean, most people would be like, "What the fuck's she talking about?" You know, sorry, It's not Breaking Benjamin or August Burns October or whatever shit.
Oh man, Taking Back Buttholes.
Taking Back Buttholes is
Taking Back Buttholes and Avenged Seven sucks.
It's really messed up because I remember one day there was a girl who was interview. She's supposed to interview Sepultura, and she thought they're from Portugal. I'm like, no, bitch, they're from fucking Brazil.
No.
And she called herself like Metal something. I don't know, but her boyfriend was
Is it Metal Sanaz or whatever?
Metal. Yeah. Her boyfriend was the head programmer at MySpace, and it's like you're so annoying. Like you're just ugly. Like your optics are fucking off. And secondly, you're just dumb and annoying. Like, did anyone ever tell you that? And you know nothing about metal. So if you got to use the pronoun like actually an adjective like that before your name, that means that you're either just struggling for attention or it's to give yourself that extra validation because you think Sepultura is from Portugal.
Oh, that breaks my heart that she thought they're from Portugal. That breaks.
Why the fuck would you even listen to her, dude? Oh God.
Oh, that's terrible. The Brazil flag didn't give it away.
Noses. So you obviously you have the thing for girls with like big noses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll put this way. I've never listened to her show. I've just seen her because there's like her and Metal Injection, Metal Sucks, all this shit that's on social media where they want you to follow them and all that. And I'm like, man, you come on board the real motherfucking shit and let's talk. Fuck all that bullshit. What's your earliest, like going back to like when you were younger, like how is metal always been like the go-to for you? Like, where does this begin with you?
I went to see Black Sabbath. My babysitter took me to a show when I was like 9 or 10. I had a jersey from the show. And then I listened to like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest growing up. Like I've been through all the Maiden phases from Dickinson.
I love Di'Anno. I'm a Di'Anno.
Paul Di'Anno, then Blaze Dickinson, Blaze Bailey, back to Dickinson. I met him when I was 15 on a tour with Yannick Gers, and he speaks French perfectly. So that's like my first-ish language. And then
oui, magnifique.
Fencing. Tu parles pas français, vous êtes américaine.
I don't know what you said, but you just talk shit.
Tu penses que tu parles français?
Ménage à toi.
Exactly. Va te faire.
Es-tu fait? Wait,
je parle un plus.
Ouais. Ouais, exactement. Comme les Américains, ils parlent comme ça, comme il est sourd.
Je suis American. Stupid American.
Yeah.
I always say they talk like they're deaf. Oh, now he's spitting out his water. So
yeah, he is. Uh-oh.
Teach us something in Serbian, why don't you? Just teach me one bad word in Serbian.
I'll teach you a sentence.
Okay, what is it?
Ja volim Bill Clintona.
Oh, I did not fucking vote for Clinton.
That means I love Bill Clinton.
Leave Bill Clinton alone.
Ja, I vote Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Man, fuck Slick Willie.
Okay.
Hey, he did get his
Everyone else
on,
did.
though. You can't hate on him for that, because
What?
I say he did get it. He was a Mac Daddy back in the day,
Who?
Bill Clinton getting a
He was
swerve on.
paying for it. Oh my God.
Well, he's paying for it, whatever.
That's no Mac Daddy. That's no
He was
Maga
paying
Daddy.
for it.
Anyway,
Using the
Bill
White House
Clinton.
dime.
I'm kicking back to the music side of shit. The very hot topic of discussion right now, and I think we're about 4 or 5 shows deep. What are your thoughts on the Pantera tribute shows? And have you seen any of it? Do you plan on attending any of it?
The Pantera ones. I might go. I mean, I don't know. I met Dimebag quite a few times. He was really cool.
Do you ever have a black tooth grin, or do you drink?
Many times, yeah. And I posted a couple of those ride for dime things. And one person was like, one of the bars was like, I don't think I'll make money at the bar. I'm like, these are Pantera fans. They drink. Black tooth grin.
Yeah. They drink and smoke weed and break shit.
Exactly. So I don't smoke the weed, but I'll drink the black tooth grin. I don't know about the who is it? It's Phil Anselmo. Like who?
Phil Anselmo, Rex. So you got half the band right there, and then Charlie Benante from Anthrax on drums.
Yeah, Rex.
Who I might say is killing it. He's bringing. It sounds like if you close your eyes, you think it's Vinny on stage.
Yeah, he is doing a good job.
And then Zach Wild playing guitar. He's being Zach. He's doing it his way. He's not replicating Dime's.
He's got Dime sound though, because of the sound tech, guitar tech that used to do a Dime.
My whole thing is like, dude, play. You're that much of the guy was a guitar god in like early 90s, whenever No More Tears. And
oh my God,
like 20 years old
when they first came out.
Wow.
Like, you have the talent, play dime solos to the T, and then whatever. Don't
I don't
just
wanna.
fucking Zach Wild them up, motherfucker.
I want 40 pinches in
I
1
don't
second.
think I'd go. Is it Rex Brown you said that's in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care for Rex Brown.
Nobody ever cared for Rex.
No, I mean, I had a few words with him at the Rainbow Bar and Grill, and it was like no need for him to even speak to me. I'm like, did I say you could speak to me? Like, whatever you're saying makes no sense. You're obviously a fucking drunk or drug addict, whatever you are. Just don't talk to me.
Or both.
Yeah.
So then he kept talking and talking, and I think the bartender, someone said she'll beat the shit out of you. Like, just don't. Like, he just wouldn't shut his mouth. So just for that alone, no, I will not go. Plus, I'd like to see Vinny, Paul, and I mean the rest of the lineup is great, but Zach Wild and of course Charlie Benante, you can't beat that. Like, he's the king. So
Yeah,
he's a stud.
Yeah, he is.
And I just watched he did a video where it was like his 10 or 11, I think it's for Revolver or something, favorite drummers. And man, the dude had a great list. And I was like, fuck yeah, Charlie. And he's a cool guy. He's a guy that you would like to fucking hang out with,
Yeah, I think I don't know who she dates, if it's Charlie. Yeah, it is Carla Harvey from the Butcher Babies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's really pretty. She's super smart. She's really artsy. Like, she draws. She does a lot of really cool creative stuff.
Let's go back to the old ECW real quick. What are your memories of that? What were your thoughts on it when it folded? And do you still keep in contact with one Brian, aka the Blue Meanie?
Well, here's the thing. Like, yeah, and he could, he could oppose, he could definitely like say this is false, but I said it before. No, I don't, because I don't like people that are lazy. And he hit me a few times. Like, I have 18 stitches in my head. No, like off camera. And I'll be straight with you what it was about. In that type of a business, when a woman does a little better than a guy and the guy's already insecure, that's not on me. That's on you. You pick up the phone, you called me, and you dated me. So don't fucking give me any problems. And this is back in the time when you had printers where you could print out an airline ticket. So I was getting more work. It's the weekend. I was going, it actually is, no, that was another time with Jimmy Hart going into work for him. It was some signing and they didn't want him. They just wanted to bring me in. And then he was like all the time on AOL chat. And I said, maybe if like you weren't on chat all the time, maybe you spent more time at the gym working on your emotional health as well. This shit wouldn't be happening. They just don't want you there. He doesn't want to bring you in. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. And I can't push. I can't say I'm not coming unless you bring him. I don't do that.
Right.
So I just got up and like walked over to grab the ticket because I just pressed print. And he fucking headbutted me like you'd headbutt someone in the street. Oh. So this is the day before the Allentown Record Convention, and I had to be there signing. It was around Thanksgiving. So I made some bullshit up, but I told Francine after what was going on. It's just, you don't bring that type of stuff up in wrestling at any time, because whatever you have to do outside of the ring, whatever goes on there, you keep it there. And I hate it when these girls like go on, okay, fine. So he's beating you at home. Okay, fine. So you know what, you deal with it there, but you all have a job to do. Just keep it professional. And then on top of that, the other thing is that you don't want to go around canceling someone's career, because that's all they have. Yeah. And I would never do that. So I just don't do shit like that. And that was the one thing. But yeah, so I just got sick of his shit. I keep in touch with other people, like RBD is coming on my podcast. I speak to Jazz.
Fuck yeah.
I speak to Just Incredible. He's doing really well.
Yeah.
I speak to a lot of, because everyone there's not a bad memory there at all. But the only bad thing that does happen is they die. Like I work with the Public Enemy, and when we're in Florida working for Jimmy Hart.
Yep.
I still speak to Kid Cash, and
that was that XWF thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it had a lot of potential. It was great, and I loved working.
They had everybody. They had everybody. My buddy, they did something. I don't know if they did something up here in Chicagoland, but I know my buddy JR got like a picture and had it signed by the Road Warriors, Mr. Perfect. I think Hogan even did some shit there, like a who's who of fucking talent,
I worked with the Road Warriors there because I was managing a tag team. We worked with the Nasty Boys. I met Hulk Hogan, and I met everyone. But having Jimmy work there, and it was Dave Pencer that brought me in. Yeah, and I owe him that. It was very sweet of him. So we did that, and that was a fun time. And I think it was when you had all the competition. You had the Monday Night Raws. You had WCW, ECW. It was great. Now it's so watered down. Like you're gonna, I don't know. Like, what's going to happen? Like, it's such a weird place we're in now. Vince's stuff is watered down. AEW, I don't really watch it that much. They have some great wrestlers. There are a lot of great girls there. I like PCW Ultra. I know a few wrestlers there. Viva Van's amazing. You should bring her on the podcast.
She's been on the show.
Has she? I love her. She's great.
She's awesome.
And, everyone's taken wrestling. Of course, XPW, we're back. And I think we're filling that extreme gap.
I would say.
And I think you have deathmatch wrestlers wrestling with girls. It's gnarly, but I totally respect them. Then there's a lot of old school stuff there. I mean, you have a Singapore Cane that came out of retirement and just everything. It's fun.
Yeah.
I like whacking people with the cane, though.
It's fun. You're whacking the shit out of Hard Body.
That was great.
I was losing my shit.
Was I really?
Well, I was being nice, Jasmine. It could have been a little bit harder.
He told me to.
Get your shit in, girl.
Right.
He told me to. I mean, it's an easy tool to use. Plus I can get whacked with it. Also, it's just I don't tighten it up unless Necro doesn't like something. I always leave it pretty loose, so it's light. I would never hurt anyone. And he's a small kid, so plus I think he might have been a fan. A lot of people that were fans, like Willie Mack, they worked there. Willie Mack's another underused talent.
Yeah, when he's fucking awesome.
So amazing. And Masada, I mean, I'm glad Masada's with us. And I just all that shit with his ex-wife wasn't even true. It's another set of crap. And he's a really good wrestler. He's a nice person. I can't say one bad thing about anyone there because it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I love it. And, I feel really touched that people drive out and they come in just to support Rob and what he's doing. And it's really sweet.
Yeah. And you also in Schlack, you got another fucking want to go to metal shows. He's your guy. We've had Schlack on the show. We've been playing metal shows with that dude
years
and years. Oh yeah.
We've been playing with them for years.
It's crazy. So cool, I mean, fucking hey Schlack, let's go see Nuclear Assault or something. He's like, fuck yeah, I'm down. Let's get that.
Yeah, that's the voice. Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, I'm going. He loves those shows. He's Schlack great. I can't see him in a slam pit. It would be funny seeing Schlack in a mosh pit.
He would destroy.
Oh yeah, he would.
The first time I went in a mosh pit, I was like 15 or 16. I saw Testament at the Ritz, which was the Studio 57. It was Testament, Overkill.
Oh,
I also went to see Wasp with Metal Church there.
Fuck yeah.
I caught Blackie Lawless. Blackie Lawless threw his towel at me. Then I ran into him years later at the Key Club in LA. I went to the show there. I avoided his towel because I just don't want that shit.
Don't give me your towel.
He's a little weird looking, whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy because I was underage at the time too, and you're throwing a towel. I know that.
Girl, all that hairspray and cocaine, he didn't know how old you were.
Right?
And I don't like the guy. I don't even know him, but you just look at him because I'm like, man, look at that fucking princess. Fuck this dude.
There's princess, but I do remember falling. Like I was crowd surfing when I was 17. I remember falling, and everyone helps you up. Like, hey, it's a girl. No, she fell, but we got to help her up. It was fun though. I knew to tuck my chin then, so it was totally fun.
You're trying to get that body calloused up for pro wrestling.
You see, I'm telling you. It was all meant to be in one big circle.
When you got involved in wrestling, this is what I'm curious because I mean, I get it back in the day, because you're essentially we go back to the 90s, right? And you're one of the biggest porn stars out there on the scene. And so to come in and do shit in ECW is, dare I say, controversial and, and XPW afterwards. But how does that connection get started? Where does wrestling start with you, and who the fuck hit you up for the first to appear? I mean, obviously it was ECW.
Actually, there's a bigger story behind that, but you're one of the first people that realized I was in ECW first.
We interrupt this wonderful episode for a short word from our shoot sponsors. Check out Slowpoke Toys to see an ever-expanding collection of toys and collectibles. Treat yourself and get something for you. Need to get a gift for a special somebody, a buddy, a friend, a loved one, a coworker? It doesn't matter. Visit slowpoketoys.com, the manufacturer of toys and collectibles you never knew you needed.
I worked with Bull Payne and all them. I used to work with Ron Killens when he was K-Crush there.
Yeah, yeah.
I did and Steve Regal. I loved working with Steven Regal.
Oh, fuck yeah.
What else did I do? So I grew up watching wrestling with my grandmother. My first pay-per-view was Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior at the Skydome in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to go see Jimmy Snuka at the arena, the Madison Square Garden.
Superfly.
He was a really nice person. Then
unless you're his girlfriend.
I don't know. You know, when people are partying together, a lot of shit goes down. You just don't know.
I'm just throwing it out because I have a dark sense of humor.
Yes. So then when I was working for Rob, we were friends, I guess it was the Dudley Boys, and then Rob was friends with them because I didn't know Rob was gonna open up a wrestling company. So he's the one that really he's the one, like he's responsible, Rob Black. He got me into ECW. He was friends with the Dudleys, and that's how that happened. And I stayed in contact with them. That when I left XPW, I'd gone straight there, but I was like, when I got that dose of the ring, I started taking actual wrestling classes from an original Glow girl, and then I was training with.
Who was that? Which, because Fred's a huge Glow fan.
Sue Sexton was her name. She was Australian. I don't know what her that's her shoot name. I don't know what her stage name was. She was part of a tag team, and then I did Then I was working with Mondo Guerrero. So
fuck yeah.
Yeah, all the luchas would come in and I train with them. They were like my size because they're small guys. Then I worked a lot
with the Guerreros too. That family, Mondo's a part of that. Mondo and Hector and Eddie and all those guys, Gory.
Well, he trained a lot of girls also, the Glow girls.
Yeah, he did.
He taught me a lot of stuff, and it's also confidence of like being up in a top rope and you're not going to like hurt yourself. But I really, I have a lot, like I owe it all to Rob, or else I never would have been in pro wrestling. And that's like one of the truths that I tell myself. And yeah, so that's how it happened.
That's awesome. And I love the story too, because I'm such like a old school fan. I mean, I just turned 40. I've been watching wrestling since I was 3 or something like that.
3 months.
And I love hearing the stories of people like, I watched it with my grandmother or my grandfather. That's the cool shit for me. I don't know what it is, but it's like there's just something about that. The fan, I have kids and family of my own now, and like that family sentiment of like getting involved and watching pro wrestling, especially the old school stuff when it was kayfabe was still very much around, and it was like, hey, sit down, watch this, because I remember doing that when I was a kid, and it was great. Those are like some of the most precious bonding memories you have with your family,
Yeah, well, she was screaming at the TV set.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If she was a true fan, she better be.
Well, I saw like Nancy Sullivan and girls like that, and I really that's pretty cool what they're doing. I was young, I didn't know, I didn't have any aspiration. I'm like, whatever, okay, that's really cool. Then you grow up, and then there I am, like waving Singapore canes and all this shit, and it's fun, And one thing with XPW, there's blood, but it's not in every match. They have like something for everyone, I feel, and there's. We have some of the old school stuff in there for kids that didn't grow up with it, but think it's really cool. Then maybe they did watch old ECW tapes, but then they see what it is. I like it though. I think it's a lot of fun. And I really like the fans for coming out. Everyone thought it was going to rain this weekend. It rained at Halloween in hell. I was like freezing cold in the gorilla position. Oof. So it's fun because like now that I'm in like a little faction storyline, like I have more to do, and like it's there, like it's coming back, like whatever Jasmine was there is just it's back to where it is now, and I'm having a lot of fun. So
hell yeah. And when you have fun, everybody has fun. That's what wrestling's all about.
Exactly.
That's why WWE sucked for I don't know how many 20 years now, because like, all these people are like, I don't want to do this.
I just want to collect checks. Don't yell at me.
Yeah.
But I think the indies have a very promising thing now. I really think
yeah.
So.
They're popping.
Super strong.
Yeah.
New
like
territories.
NWA, what is it? Total nonstop action? Okay, yeah, whatever. So okay, sure, whatever. So that's other lily white shit. And then
speaking of that, you did 1 or 2 appearances in TNA, right? Early
Yeah, I
in the
did a
day
few, yeah.
with Francine, isn't it?
Yeah, Francine was in sub, and I forgot who else, Goldilocks. So I had fun working with those girls and then going to Perkins after. But, you know, people still think you don't like people in real life. In wrestling, a lot of people think, because Hardbody and I were arguing before the show, and there were fans there, but we continued the argument like to make it better looking. And, you know, I just remember one fan, he's like, yeah, fuck him and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
And some guy like heckled him when he walked by.
Well, I mean, wrestling fans are the best and worst of
my God,
all the fandoms, because
both
there's some real fucking dorks. I love wrestling, right? But I'm gonna keep it real with you. I ain't gonna fucking be like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this or doing that. It's a fucking story, dude. It's hip. It's hip to know what's going on to an extent, you know. I don't want to know fucking everything, but it just, you know how it is. I'm sure you've encountered a few of these fans that are just like, dude, just leave.
I'm gonna go on Twitter and tell everybody.
It's fucking stupid.
And then I'm gonna get them canceled.
Oh yeah, good luck with that. You can't cancel us because you don't know. Dumb. You don't know if we're MAGA or not. You have no fucking
exactly
Mega Maga. And it's, even if some of us are, it's a great damn way to go out there and really, you know,
stir some shit up.
If you can.
I love it.
It's what wrestling did. It's no different.
It's about damn time.
It's no different than, you know, the motherfuckers in their beloved Attitude Era. What were they doing? Stirring shit up back in the day. What was XPW doing? Sucking and fucking and licking and touching. You know, XPW stirring shit up back in the day. It's the same. It's just now I think people have a hard time accepting it into society because society's so fucking,
because social media took over.
You know, just a bunch of pussies, man. Like.
Well, I don't think they care that much. I knew in New Jersey, I said a lot of people are going to like us there because it's a lot of Republicans. It's a lot of small business owners. So there was one guy, though, by the ringside that was yelling at me. And I think he really he went a bit overboard. Then in Pomona, there were some other people, and some girl had her finger right up by my face. I could tell she was pissed off, but I think it's just so great how offensive it is. I love it. So for the Jersey show, I brought this like double XL Trump 2024 t-shirt with an eagle on the front. So I'm going to have my friend cut it up into a dress.
Yes.
So nice. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And I really like to see Necro get dressed up with his, those overalls were so cool. I'm like, these are awesome.
Oh, those were
hey, maybe Mike Lindell will join the stable one night. I'd like to have us have like guests every now and again. Wouldn't it be great if like
that would
Trump
be awesome.
Or like Kimberly Guilfoyle or just someone came out? I'd fucking love that. That would be my dream, to have like Mike Lindell show up. And like I go to enough Turning Point USA events like in these things that I could have met him, but I haven't met him yet. I have yet to meet the My Pillow guy. No, not like that. Just I like his book. His book is really good, and I haven't read it.
Shredden needs to get on that though, because you know he's a budding businessman, entrepreneur.
Well, the book is good. It shows like how he talks about being toothless in Mexico and with nothing left, and he came out and he built an empire. He's more than just like a pillow salesman. It's an actual story. So you put politics aside, his pillows are the best. And no, I love his slippers, his moccasins, but his towels, oh my God, they absorb so well and they feel really good. They last forever. I love his products and I love his energy. He's a great speaker. So yeah, his book is worth picking up if you ever get a chance. But yeah, maybe he'll come out one day.
That would be amazing.
But that's the first time I waved a Trump flag in my life, was in that ring. I just had the idea to do it and put it over Hardbody. I always put the flag over someone.
Yeah, I love that. Like when LAX and shit, when they take people out, they got, you know, the Mexican or the Puerto Rican flag and they lay it over the people. I love shit like that. Yeah. I think you guys,
the Trump flag,
it'd be dope. I mean, the Trump flag's cool because obviously what it represents, but you guys need your own kind of almost like NWO like logo, your own there you go.
Yeah, there it is.
I love it.
Maybe it'll be that like MAGA and then have the flags. Yeah, you know, I think I'm gonna make one up for the fuck of it.
That would be great.
Do it. And then people are gonna be clamoring for it. They're gonna be like, where the fuck can I buy this? I get those? Yeah.
The flags. Oh wow, that's a really you're pretty smart.
Girl, all you gotta do is hit me up. I got ideas. fucking.
I don't know who makes flags though, because I order flags from Amazon.
The U.S. government.
Huh?
Nothing.
Oh,
I said
fuck
the
that
U.S.
shit.
That's right.
What to go? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. To go up to Gavin Newsom's house. Are you allowed to curse on here?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, that fucking fanny pirate piece of shit cocksucker. He needs to like go. He fucked up San Francisco so much in LA. I hope like someone just sticks a fucking needle in his arm one day. Because when that shit hits like home, that's when these people and lawmakers take it seriously. And that's really the truth. Let someone go dance in their freaking their outfits in front of his kids and show them dildos and talk to them about sex. Then let's have another conversation after that happens.
Right? Fucking thwap them on the forehead with a big double-sided fucking donger.
Oh, yeah. 18-inch plus.
Hey, then they'll feel woke.
Yeah, real woke. I'm woke.
Like
We're
Street
so
Fighter
woke,
when
we
you get
haven't
dizzy.
even slept yet. But I am gonna make a MAGA flag. I said, I don't know anywhere. Huh?
Please do. I would love to see a MAGA flag. That'd be great.
We need
on
it.
XPW.
We need it. The world needs it. XPW needs it, and everybody will buy it. You'll make money. It's good for everybody involved. As we wind down here, Jasmine, I'd like to know through everything you've experienced throughout the adult entertainment world, through pro wrestling, the music side of stuff. What has been like the one, and I'm sure there's got to be some because I've encountered some. I'm sure Bodie has, doing shows. What has been the one weirdest, most uncomfortable fucking situation you've ever been in?
None really. I mean, like,
really, out of all these fucking crazy fans, you've never had anybody kind of get out of line.
Someone sent me a pint of his blood or something once.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, you think really?
I mean, yeah, it's blood. You don't know whose blood it is. It could be easy.
Yeah, I didn't open it up. I just sent it back. Then I was in the
Return the sender.
I was in an indie show and Abby the Butcher was there and some new kid and it was so funny. You have to listen to me. This is what you do. When I tell you, you do this. Then the best part was the Iron Sheik. Some kid played peekaboo with him.
Oh,
Go fucking play peekaboo. I mean, I don't know. I've had more fun moments. I think like I don't know, like Ribbon, Missy Hyatt and being right there. I called up the Iron Sheik as Missy Hyatt. Wanted to hit on him and just say how much, I really want to party with you, Sheiky. Yeah, we're going to get down with WrestleCon, whatever it was, convention. So I was at the table with Missy and the Sheik was like right there. He keeps coming up to her, Missy, we got to my room for gimmick after. Yeah, you say, then he was trying to kiss her. She was like, what are you doing? It was. Now she knows that. Now I admit it to her after all these years, but she said I played the best rib on her once before though.
What was that?
And I had her drive from Tampa to Miami. I told her I was booked on a show. I wasn't fucking near Miami.
Oh,
from one side of the state to the other.
Well, yeah, I owe her a nice dinner. I do owe her a good dinner though. But I love talking to Missy, and because she's also a fellow Trump supporter, and she's really cool. She does a lot of like performance theater as well with those reenactments, Civil War reenactments. But yeah, nothing's ever really made me feel so uncomfortable in this business. I think like Paul, I don't know if it was Paul Heyman coming up to me 5 minutes before or 10 minutes before a show starts. So do you feel comfortable taking that bump? Which bump? Oh, he's just going to pile drive you off the top rope. Sure, no problem. So yeah, I mean,
not a big deal, Paul.
Yeah,
he's the ultimate motivator from what I heard. I mean, he would bounce checks, but still get people to fucking do crazy shit.
Because we're all sick in the fucking head. We're all sick.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a cult.
Everyone is. And the people that are the most judgmental are the most sick in the head.
But it's like a really good cult. And, you're depending that you're hoping everything is fine. But when you're up there, you're dealing with adrenaline from within the ring and yourself. Then there's sweat. Then there's that oil those guys use. And then you have like, then it's the audience as well next. That's the other thing. And then it's up there. So you got to think, okay, what can go wrong might go wrong. So I would just remember like my hands were planted on fucking Rhino's legs. I was like digging my nails in. I'm like, motherfucker. But next thing you know, I'm down. But I mean, I tuck my head because those guys are so big, and you're tucking your neck anyway. but like his ass is going to hit first. Just like we don't share tables. Those tables are never pre-cut in XPW or ECW. Those guys break it like with their arms, and you're lucky. You're going to go through. You're going to go through. You don't. Oh well, but it's not the worst thing.
Right.
Someone like Schlack, I trust doing like giving me a soup like a power bomb. Some like bigger guys, someone like Hardbody, no. Monkey
he couldn't even get you up. Come on.
Well, you know, I did a match once with the Cat years ago with Jerry Lawler's the Cat, the fat cat.
Yeah,
and you know, we got up for power slams like for each other because you know you're basically jumping up and taking you and you're taking your own bump. So we got up and it was a good match. She was cute. But I think part of having my podcast, though, is another great way to connect with people from the past and see how they are and just meet like new people. Because I just like for the most part, I'm very antisocial. You know, I do acting and I sometimes I go to, you know, events and stuff, but I know I got to be social there. But for the most part, I'm pretty antisocial when it comes to just the world. Like, especially the way it is now, even though I don't give a fuck if I offend someone.
We interrupt this wonderful episode for a short word from our shoot sponsors. Check out Slowpoke Toys to see an ever-expanding collection of toys and collectibles. Treat yourself and get something for you. Need to get a gift for a special somebody, a buddy, a friend, a loved one, a coworker? It doesn't matter. Visit slowpoketoys.com, the manufacturer of toys and collectibles you never knew you needed.
Right now is the time to let everybody know where they can find your podcast at. If you got any merch coming out, I know XPW is they just signed a deal, so they'll be back in Pomona. I think there's like 6 or 7 dates scheduled for next year. You guys got some coming up in January. What's going on in your world, and where can people get in touch with you if you choose to? And by the way, I have to say this. Thank you. I know you just mentioned that you're antisocial. I feel much the same way because people mostly fucking suck. So thank you for giving us the time fucking tonight. It's mad respect for that.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So all of my merchandise, I was kicked off eBay sort of because I put up Mega Maga Christmas photos and I had Christmas ornaments and posters and stuff like that. So they threw off they can't sell in there. So I have a Shopify store. It's just Jasmin St. You can see the links on like my socials. So it's on Instagram, the real Jasmin St. and it's JASMIN STCLAIRE. No E at the end of Jasmine, E at the end of Claire. Twitter.com, Jasmin St. Same with Facebook. And the podcast, it's out every Wednesday. It's Krazy Train with Jasmin St. That's Krazy with a K. And it's also a YouTube page. So I started putting up videos. So there's a nice video interview with Necro Butcher. He's the tough one to get, by the way. I have a friend that emailed him who's trying to get him, but yeah, he's tough. But there's a great Necro Butcher interview up there. So Krazy with a K. It's every Wednesday, and yeah, you'll see me all over. And come to XPW. My merchandise is already on Shopify, and there will be some MAGA flags. So I'm making some small ones and some large ones. And yeah.
Yeah, girl, can't wait. Once again, though, thank you for your fucking time. I hope you're down to do it again sometime.
Yeah.
And all the best to you and your endeavors in XPW. We fucking love what you and Rob and everybody are fucking doing there. It's highly entertaining to us. You know, we're some old school cats that like that type of shit. We have a very wide palette when it comes to pro wrestling.
Good, I'm glad.
And it's also been great to talk music with you. I mean, we could go for hours on that shit. So maybe we do another show where it's just mainly like music and movie and shit oriented. We'll have to do that sometime and just talk fucking metal because we got stories for days, and I'm sure you do as well. So hey, everybody out there watching and listening right now, like and subscribe, share with your fucking friends. Be sure to rate and review on any podcasting platform. If you want to buy some fucking merch and support them juice fucking boys, ProWrestlingTees.com/JPWTees. Don't be shy, guy. Buy some fucking merch. If you don't, we'll fucking hunt you down, find you, and maybe bend you over and do weird things to your butthole. I don't know. It could happen.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It probably won't happen. Well, it'll probably. Sren ain't got nothing going on. We'll fucking send him.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, the MAGA Andre the Giant. He is the MAGA Andre.
You're talking.
Hey, until next time, motherfuckers. The quarter homie Easy E. Wet 'em up. Wet 'em up. Wet 'em up. Wet 'em up.
so fucking for Jasmin St and XPW is fucking insane. If you ain't tuning in, you don't have no fucking clue on life.
You gonna do sex to me?
Did you like that video? If so, be sure to hit like and subscribe and check out more killer content from your boys at Juice Pro Wrestling. Whoa, yeah!